Hey guys, on today's episode of Milky Way TV, we're going to be diving into how I created my dark wood and whitewashed wood wall and floor set that is reversible. Stay tuned. So on today's episode, I want to share with you this wood backdrop that I have created. I absolutely love it. Over the years, I used to have a wood wall in my studio at home, and I always wanted a reversible one. So I'm going to show you actually what I did. So what I did is I actually went to Home Depot and I picked up a whole bunch of these wood boards. And what you're going to want to look for are like the ones that are banged up the most, the ones that are kind of knotty, the ones that have these visible blemishes on them. I love the ones that have cracks and everything. So what I actually did is I took paint, I took a water-based stain paint and acrylic paint, and I painted the brown on both sides first. I also used something that was water-based, so I wasn't making a big mess. I don't particularly like the smell of stain. I did start using stain at one point, and I did start to get a little bit of a contact high. So I was like, I'm in like an enclosed space in my studio, so I would recommend definitely using more of a water-based paint. On this side, I actually used chalk paint. So what I did is I painted both sides, did a couple coats, and then I painted this side. Now what was really important to me is making sure that I still had the brown peeking through, because it gave just a little bit more texture. So what I did is I ended up doing, I guess about maybe 15 or so boards. They are a 6-foot boards. They are, I guess, maybe 10 inches wide. I like the wider plank look, that's just me. But what I did is I was able to do both. I did a wall and I did a floor. And I'm just going to show you how it looks when it is reversible. Now the way that I mounted it is I used a curtain rod. I got this from Yisk, and I've mounted it into studs into the wall so it's nice and safe. So what I do when I want to flip it out is I basically just unscrew the anchors on this, take the rod out, and flip everything around. So I'll show you what that looks like. And there you have it, my reversible wood wall. Now, some troubleshooting stuff that I would recommend is making sure that you're sanding your wood before you start painting it. Then I would also recommend using a little bit of acrylic paint. Now you can see from my dark wood, I have varying different levels of color. And that was important to me because I didn't want it to be just one straight color. I want it to have some dimension and some depth. What I also did is I used nails and I used screws and pressed them in there. And so when I applied my stain, they were beautiful. They took on this really dark color and it turned out really, really nice. I love the versatility of having this wall and adding it to my studio. I love backdrops, but I also love real so much better. I find that the quality I get is really great. And if you're a traveling photographer, having these panels like this is really great. Now the only thing that I would recommend is making sure that you have a way to reinforce it. Having wood wall, you always want to make sure that you have some sort of safety in place. That's why the rod is up, so I've made sure that they won't be falling down and that they were mounted into studs. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single trick, tip, or tutorial. See you next time.